Hello everybody, and once again, welcome back to the Archive, where we once again return with Final Fantasy XIV. Unfortunately, I don't have time for a full stream tonight. We're only going to play for about 2 hours. I know I'm on early, but that doesn't mean that we're going to be doing a full stream. But we've got progress to make in Shadowbringers. So, we got to find Alphino. And, assumably, the rest of our compadres. We're doing this song and dance again, but, yeah, what can you do? At least we're in a new spot, right? Now, I don't know how, I'm hoping everything's good on the YouTube side of things. I've been having some weird connection problems with YouTube all night, and I'm not sure if it's... I don't think it's an issue with my internet. It just might be an issue with my connection to YouTube servers or something. So I am hoping that the YouTube side of things is alright, but we will see. I'll take a look at the VOD after the stream, and worst case scenario, I can always just take the Twitch VOD and upload it as a video separately. But hopefully it won't come to that. Could have just teleported there, but I still gotta get used to this new zone. Zem Genmai. Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery? Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with an Amaro for passage to Colcia. I will pick you up. I will pick you out a friendly whelp. And there I was expecting a chocobo. A chocobo? Do you hail from one of Norvan's more isolated settlements, perchance? I hear there are a few places where they ride little else. But here in the Crystarium, mounts like that gray fellow there are far more commonly used. Seeing as you are plainly unaccustomed to riding Amaro, I think it best I accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zune worthy of the name could do it, of course, but the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Amaro Lodge. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mounts. Okay, sure. Something a little different this time, huh? That would be up and around. I think there's a staircase over here. Okay, I think I'm better off just using a teleporter. Let's see. Amaro Lodge. You want to fly an Amaro to Coolucia? Well, I suppose if Master Genmai is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with mounts shortly.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath.
Greetings. How's it going this fine evening,
edge,
morning, whatever it is there?
The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
Coolucia. Yeah, it looks a bit rough around the bottom there. Cool vista, though. We are arrived. This is Cracked Shell Beach on the eastern coast of Colusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eater's attacks are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It is the people you should be wary of. Spy you that city in the distance? That is Ulmore, the island's main settlement. Oh. Skip that on accident. For years, the Almoran elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection if we bend the knee. But to say their ideals are questionable will be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority, and while we are not at war, our relationship with Ulmore is strained at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. I am glad we understand each other. Now, the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. If you head south along the coast, you will eventually come to a fisherman's shack. A friend of the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name of Ebor. Ebor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Colusia and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a spring of time, and that will let him know you can be trusted. Here, this should be enough. Find your friend. I will stay here with Yamaro until you are ready to return. Alright. We got some hobgoblins. A Maltish. You know, I'm not used to enemies actually aggroing on me. So I just need to follow the beach. South. That's better. What are you after? Fish? Crab? I think I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere if you've got a taste for him. Here's some time. Ooh, I do love for a bit of time. Chuck in some in the pan and it's like a bloody festival of flavor. Now what is it I can do for you? Can't say there's been any major upsets to report these last few weeks. Elfino, eh? Aye, I know the one. A young champion of the downtrodden. Ulmore's richer than all of Norvant put together, but it's a different story for them as live outside the city. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. I can hazard a guess as to where he is now, get a message to him, but you'll need somewhere quiet to meet, away from prying eyes. Make for Stilltide. That's the fishing village just up the path there. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern the locals call the Leaky Keel. Wait there and I'll see that Alphino joins you. Appreciate it, Ebor. Looks like Alphino is still keeping up with the whole Scion mentality, even stranded on a different world. God, it is really depressed here. This your first time in a tavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What will you be having? I need a stiff drink. Well now, those are exotic. Where did you come by coins like that? I'm sorry, dear, I don't doubt they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to test their purity, and I'm not about to go begging for one of the from neighbors. So we'll just have to come to some other arrangement. Here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more of them than we have. What do you say to a bit of extermination work? I want you to squash any vermin you find, and then visit the caretaker and give him an earful for me for sleeping on the job. He'll be in the old silo next to the fence, snoring, like as not. Do that for me, and you can laze about here as long as you like. Alright. Nothing wrong with a bit of manual labor. Especially manual labor that will give me a little bit more practice on Reaper, because I'm worried we're going to run into a dungeon and I'm going to make a fool of myself. One down, one to go. Alright, let's see. Oh my god, the famous grapes! I know this isn't the model, I know this isn't where we normally see them. And that's normally in, Lenoska, but... it's still funny to see them here. That's not what I wanted. Gotta remember to do this to increase my damage. Good. I think knocking louder is going to do much. He's probably asleep. Or dead. Wouldn't put either past, you know, wouldn't be surprised with either. You hear a faint squeaking from the room beyond. Time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer. No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been for some time. The gnawed scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up residence in their absence. That would explain why that's not been getting done. I'll remember to attune to that, right? Good. Welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? Gone? Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. In Gate Town, outside Yulmore? You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And here I was, thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You've more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink. On the house. Oh, that's nice of you. I can't imagine you do too much business here. Or that people have money to actually spend in the local area.
And how is business today, Mistress Thella?
Oh my god, you are a very differently dressed, huh?
Frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Tis good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, what else were you expecting?
The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alphino, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
Oh, you just tend to the empty houses, huh? Alphino, haven't seen you up and about, you know, since you left for, left for Garlemald.
Prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu. It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. The time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
Yeah, what did you expect? I was more worried about you.
Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before. I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable.
Yeah, it doesn't quite look that way.
And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change.
Well, I can kind of go back and forth between the source and here, or wherever it is, whatever we consider home. So, I could just go back and tell her everybody you guys are safe.
But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire. Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more.
Oh, that's not good.
Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course.
Well, worth a shot.
In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion.
Okay, that's a lead.
I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered.
Good on you, Alphino.
That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
When am I not?
And so we take to the road once more.
Assuming you have no objections, let us make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, you may be lucky enough to see why I have yet to set foot in Yulmore, despite my best efforts to do so. Come, from here we must head west, and then cross a small bridge. I really like the fact that we're taking things nice and slow. It's sort of building up. With this sort of seeing multiple locations, getting a glimpse of everything we're going to be witnessing. It's good to it's a much different start than, well, Stormblood. Stormblood was very quick and quick and open. Calusia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. I had a similar impression of the Crystarium. Even in this distant world, people are much the same. To think that whenever a calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. Over there. Oh, hello, Sin Eater. I forgot to use the damage boost again. I'm never gonna get used to that. Although there really was no point to doing it then. My poor heart. Thank you, young miss. Ah, there you are. In my haste I had lost my bearings, but I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Are you all right, madame? Just a few bruises from where I fell. Nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I let that stop me. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Yulmore with the rest of them. Doubt those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate has to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin Eater's task any easier. And thank you again. You saved my life. Now, I am sure a strapping lass like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's naught to be had here but cobwebs and memories. 'Tis as the lady says, many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Yulmore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? Well, I saw them act firsthand. It wasn't pleasant. Yes, Elise would be well qualified to speak on the subject. Compared with Amarong, Calusia is almost a haven, but as you saw, we cannot let our guard down. Had you arrived but a few moments later, the Sin Eaters would have claimed another victim. Still, we have won a small victory this time at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. Okay. I'm assuming what we're looking for is that line of huts. The fuck is that? Oh yeah, here we go. A veritable slum.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Yulmore itself lies beyond.
Something tells me the arms aren't as open as
This,
the name
meanwhile,
would
is the
suggest.
aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh?
No. Oh, hello.
I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
I don't... What do you mean by trick? Like combat tricks? I got plenty of those.
She's not here to compete. Leave her be.
What? I was only making conversation.
Besides, if this was a competition, I'd win every time. So it's not really worth it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please!
Okay.
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all. Yulmore extends its warmest regards.
Right.
Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu. Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We may not at all.
Was there anyone?
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame.
Okay.
It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon.
Of course they did.
A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
Yeah.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in the City of Splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor.
Yeah, something tells me that this isn't as great of a deal as it might seem from the outset. Just an intuitive thought here.
just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident! For you!
Ah, at last!
Enjoy!
Thank goodness.
Okay.
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gatetown, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity. Yet the whole arrangement just seems...
There are many words I could probably use here. None of them good.
well, let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
You and me both. Hello. Can I help you? That was weird interaction. Okay. Now you understand why my attempts to enter the city have thus far come to naught. The dubious privilege of residency must be won via a contest with ever-changing rules. They say this policy has been in place for the last 2 decades, ever since Yulmore's current ruler came into power. Yet, from what I have seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shred struggle against the city dues, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I've tried to propose ways they could improve their lot, but my words invariably fall on deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now, I worry that, well, mayhap you should take a turn around Gatetown and judge the situation for yourself. Ah, you again. How's it going? Still here, are ya? Can't blame you for wanting a slice of Ulmore's pie. If you ask me, you should ditch that sour-faced brat and make a home for yourself here. Gatetown's not much to look at, aye, but at least it's safe. And the meal is the best thing I've ever tasted. Bubbling cookpot. Large pot bubbles over the flame. Pale chunks, meal, you realize, float in the otherwise plain broth. Yeah, that's a problem. Just look at it. Can you imagine a more beautiful city? Every day I dream of the life that waits for me inside those walls. Oh, will they ever pick me? With how much this place grows, probably day by day, probably not. There's probably more people coming in to look for a better life than they're letting people in. The odds have got to not be great. You've seen what Gatetown has to offer? These people can no longer fend for themselves. They've become dependent on handouts of Miol and believe Yulmore is the answer to all their woes. Yet no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, unable to conceive of any other way of life. You disapprove of this? I mean, I can't blame you. I'm not exactly on board either, but... Disapprove? It frustrates me, certainly. That is only a part of it, though. The whole situation makes me uneasy. Not that it matters, however unjust the system seems to me. If these people claim to be content with their lot, it's hardly my place to criticize their choices. But take that elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who have chosen to forego Ulmore's largesse are doomed to suffer for their independence? In the end, they are all but forced to seek refuge in Gate Town, and so hamlets and fields across the island are left empty and untended, hastening the region's descent into ruin. Nay, I am not convinced that Ulmore's generosity truly serves the best interests of Colusia's people. I am not so naive to think that there is some miraculous solution to all of this. Yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of hard-working villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being plucked from poverty by the hand of a capricious noble. There has to be a better way. I will not know for sure, however, until I have taken those long-delayed steps through Ulmore's gates. 'Tis fortunate that you arrived when you did. I've been working on a scheme to insinuate myself into the city. God damn, I'm tired. Insinuate myself into the city, and if all goes to plan, it should soon come to fruition. There is a beast tribe who makes its home in the sea surrounding the island. The Ondo, they are called, though you and I know them as Sahagin. For the most part, they keep to themselves in their ocean grottos and rarely have dealings with land dwellers. But as Tataru took such great pains to impress upon me during our stay in Kugane, business favors the bold, and so I reached out to them. I duly discovered that the Ondo are inordinately fond of land-grown produce, fresh fruits in particular, and when I offered to procure such goods for them, they promised to pay me in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Surely even the most jaded Ulmorian lord would have time for a merchant who can make pearls from plums and pumpkins. Yes, I've come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price. My appointment for the Ondo is to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them on the shore. Might you help me make the exchange? Why not? I mean, it might get us both entrance into the city, and I'm sure that'll be helpful later. Excellent. I should be glad of your company. First things first, then, we must pay a visit to Moshe Moa, my supplier in the route. Come, it is just to the northwest of here. Thank you, Arwing, for the shilling, as always. All right. One thing that clearly Alphino hasn't learned is knowing when places are safe to have a conversation. Also, this clearly is our Limsa parallel, if I were to guess. Whether it's the city on the water, the Sahagin, and just the architecture. It reminds me a lot of Limsa and Lenoska itself. Is there something I can do for you, friend? Good day to you, Moshe Moa. This is my associate. We are here to collect the produce I purchased. Huh? I loaded your lackey up with the goods not long ago. My lackey? I know of no such person. Mr. Ladd, short blue hair? No? He said he'd come on your behalf, and since he seemed to know all the details, I just assumed. Confound it. Someone must have been eavesdropping on our conversation. If this charlatan was not here long ago, he can't have gotten far. We should split up and search the area. You find a vantage point at the south side of the town, and I shall take the west. All right. I should have just been on the bike the whole time. I was just kind of, I wouldn't say enjoying, but vibing with the sun-bleached atmosphere here. It's really quite something. Oh, here we are. Any sign of him? Well, that's him right there. You've a keen eye. Let us move in before he makes good his escape. Hey, buddy, you have something that belongs to me. Or us. Well, Alphino, not really us or me, I guess.
There you are. The thief who claims the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well, forgive me. I have to get into the city.
Yeah, no, you don't.
I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it. No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea. Get in that way.
What is your name?
Kai Shear.
Tell me then, Kai Shear. Must it be Yulmore or nothing? What of the Christerium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
Yeah, living honestly.
No, it has to be Yulmore.
Of course it does. You have to live in resplendent pleasure. Why else would you care?
That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
Yeah, you shouldn't have kept a promise you can't keep. It's really that simple, bud.
I was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Yulmoran's interest.
You'll give me your place? Just like that?
Alphino, come on, can we think about this? We're not helping matters.
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you!
Again, I get the feeling that the people who get accepted into the city do not live the splendorous life that everybody outside thinks they do. Wouldn't really surprise me if they're
This
all
was but
turned
one
into,
path.
like,
There will
servants,
be others.
essentially.
But for young Kaishia, it was the difference between life and death. I do not regret my decision, yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world, that countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless?
That's not quite who you are, is it?
I suppose not. Were Estinian here, he would most likely scoff at my soft-heartedness.
Same old Alfino, ever the slave to sentiment.
But I thank you for your kind words nonetheless. Let us see to it that both these stories have a happy ending. Shall we return to Wright then? Is that?
Is that what? Yeah, that's a guy.
I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble. Come on, they may need our help.
Yeah, why not? We've already diverted from our original plan long enough that that adding a little bit more complication isn't going to make too much of a difference. In for a penny, in for a pound, as they say. Okay, not quite. What is that? Render distance-wise, I don't think that's a monster. Yeah, that guy can wait. No, it is a little robot-looking thing. Or a statue of some sort. Cool. Yeah, he can wait another moment. I've got something more important. Alright. That should take care of the worst of his injuries. Mercy. Mercy, I beg you. Breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here. That poor man is shivering. Pray keep an eye on him while I get a fire going. I thought for certain I was dead. How am I ever to repay this kindness? We'll settle for the tale behind your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name? Tristal. I was invited into Yulmore to work as an artist. A wealthy couple took me in to paint pictures for them, but when my style proved contrary to their taste, they just as quickly turfed me out onto the street. I was left penniless and patronless. A grave sin in Lord Vothry's city. Within days, they had brought me before the man himself, and he asked me what I meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him that I wished to leave. Little did I know that he would soon grant me my wish. They flung me over the balustrade into the goddamned ocean. From up there? How were you not dashed to pieces? Don't ask me. Luck, I suppose. Though if you hadn't found me when you did, it wouldn't have counted for much. Monstrous. And the citizens condone such barbaric punishment? Oh, without a second thought. When Lord Vothry passes judgment, no one so much as blinks, let alone argues. In Yulmore, his word is law. The more I hear about Yulmore, the more determined I am to see what waits within its walls. I shall bend all my thoughts to securing another way into the city. There must be something we can do. But first, we must convey Tristol to the shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal air. A way into the city. One punch mantis. Okay, that's pretty good. Did I grow out this Ethernet? No, I did not. Yeah, looks like people are still surviving here, at least. Granted, they did say that the Sin Eater attacks were significantly less common in this region. Probably because we're not right on top of that goddamn wall. Pray accept my deepest gratitude. I owe you both my life. And if you'll permit me, I would assist you in your attempt to enter Yulmore, insofar as I am able, at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors into that awful place makes me sick to the stomach. But since it's plain you've set your mind on it, you should take this. It's my favorite paintbrush. The Yulmorian elite are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want, and if I'm not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone to replace me. If you make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince people you have a talent for painting. Are you certain? This is your livelihood. We cannot deprive you of such a treasured possession. I give it gladly after all you've done for me. Besides, I can't. I don't think I have the heart to paint anymore. As to what I'll do instead, I honestly haven't decided. But I shan't stay long in this place, not with that city brooding over me. Nay, I'll move on to new lands and a new profession, and I'll keep you in my prayers from until now until my dying day. Oh, hello. Should you make it into the city, you have care of what you say and do. I wouldn't want you to save my life only to lose your own. Oh, right, I forgot. There is still job quests for, like, newer jobs. I still have to do the role quest at some point, but I can still do job quests separately. They say kindness is its own reward, but Tristol has repaid us with a gift as timely as it was unexpected. We will, however, need to act upon his advice before another painter steps in to fill the vacancy. Thankfully, I do have some modest skill with a brush. Nothing approaching that of a true artist, of course, but enough to play the role, I would hope. As for you... Well, if you don't mind taking a subordinate role, mayhap you could pose as my assistant. Then it's settled. All we need to do now is return to Gate Town and await the next appearance of those vile jesters. Nope, wrong way. Not used to these maps yet. Alright. Back to Gate Town. Where I get the distinct feeling the next time they come will be the time we need. Because of course that's how that works. A box of tissues here somewhere. Give me a moment. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Up and down weather recently. I've gone from anything from like 50-degree days all the way to like 70-degree days, and it's been hell on allergies. Fucking hate this time of year. Well, that was fast. Your attention once more. What a day it's been for the folks at our door. God. I guess I need to use that I guess I actually need to pull up that box of tissues. Give me a second. Not. I guess the box was basically empty. Fuck. Alright, that's fine. I'll just have to suffer through it for a little bit. Do I not have any? Like, napkins? Ah, here we go. Have some napkins. Well, at least fall's not as bad as spring. We've welcomed a peddler who made pearls from a plum, and now we've a place for a painter of a plume. So come along and don't be slow. It's time to let your colors show. I can paint. Portraits, at least. Landscapes and still lifes are so rarely commissioned these days. Oh ho! I thought I spied some new faces in the crowd. What fortune that you should feel at ease around an easel. But what proof have you of your prowess? Any masterpieces on your person? Sadly not. Everything I paint is soon sold. Such is the life of a working artist. I have only my brush to testify for me, though you will note that it has seen no small amount of service. Flecks of paint, both old and new, a tool much loved and much used. Not a prop to be conjured on the hop. Very well. Come with us and we'll put those talents to the tests. And who is this hanger-on? Well-wisher or parasite? This is my assistant, whose unfailing support allows my art to flourish. I will go with her, or not at all. Parasite, then. We shall leave her fate in the hands of your new employer. It matters not a whit to us. And having filled our latest vacant space, we retire to Yulemore's sweet embrace. Oh, mercy me, the mule! We almost took our leave without leaving a loving token. We must empty these sacks ere we make our way back. Well, so we get in. That's good, at least. I have a feeling it's not going to go that great, but we'll find out.
Redemption is beyond us.
Well, this is a very nice looking place, I will
The
admit.
lament of all but saints and fools, and the comfort of the lords and ladies of this accursed place. Once they held fast against the madness, only to embrace the coming cataclysm and delight in the end of days.
Luckily, I'm pretty confident I can fight my way out of
Perhaps
this
in
place.
rapture, they seek to lose themselves and the misery they share. Or perhaps for them alone, the promise of eternal pleasure really does hold true.
Welcome, welcome to the City of Final Pleasures. Feel free to weep at its magnificence. No? Not even a single tear? Moving right along then. Our first task is to register you as residents. You know, make it all nice and official. We'll smooth the way, so you just need to put on your happy faces and head through to Joyous Hall. The Bureau of Immigration is in the first room on the left side of the passage. Declare your name and occupation in a nice, loud voice. The clerks will tell you where to go from there. Oh, and pay no mind to those folks off to the side of the road. Much like the hopefuls in Gate Town, they haven't earned the right to enter the city proper. If, however, you enjoy basking in the envy of your fellow man, then by all means, take your time. But why waste another moment? Go, enjoy the beginning of your new life in paradise. The Bureau of Immigration, was it? I suppose we had better show ourselves willing for the time being. Bright purple and pink armor, huh? Certainly matches the aesthetic of this place. Wow. I was expecting gaudy, but I wasn't expecting this much gaudy. Welcome to Yulemore, fortunate friends. May I have your name? I am Alphino, an artist, and this is Evelyn, my assistant. Yes, I was informed on your imminent arrival. We can forego the usual interview and begin processing your registration papers forthwith. Now, the citizens of Yulemoor are divided into two classes. There are the free, who are blessed with the favor of Lord Vothry, and the bonded, who work in the employ of the free. You'll be joining the ranks of the bonded. Your duties are to serve a patron in the capacity for which you were chosen, in your case, painting pretty pictures. Should your patron dismiss you for any reason, you must find another sponsor among the free, or accept work as a general laborer. I see. And might you tell us something of the patron we are to serve? The two patrons, actually, Chai Nuz and Dulia Chai, a Mistral couple, who most refer to as the Chais. They are both gentle souls, but I would ask that you conduct yourself with respect and humility, for your own sake as much as theirs. Now, a moment please while I complete the relevant paperwork. All in order. These are your registration documents. Take those papers next door and submit them to the clerk. Once they've been stamped, you will officially be Yulmoran citizens. Enjoy your new life in paradise. Yeah, so much for paradise. Welcome to the Bureau of Registration. Papers, please. That's what have we here. Alphino, artist. Evelyn, artist's assistant, to be employed in the service of Lord Chai Nuz and Lady Dulai Chai. Yep, everything seems to be in order. Your registration is hereby approved. I think it best that we deliver you to the Chai residence before... Oh dear. You smell hideous. Did you crawl through here through a ditch? It's like an unholy miasma of dust and sweat and the musk of some unwashed beast. Proceed directly to the illusory next door and scrub yourselves clean. Use whichever showers are free. After you've rinsed away that stench, you'll want to splash yourselves with this perfume. Liberally. Once you've made yourself presentable, then you may proceed to the Chai residence. Karen, the guards by the stairs, will give you directions. I hadn't realized we were so aromatic. It's what adventuring for a long time will do to you. Wow. I think that's the first time we've cleaned ourselves since we started this adventure. Roses isn't a bad scent. Oh, you're showered and dressed already, have you? It is not... Is it not... that is to say... It seems rather exposed for one's ablutions, does it not? What would a Stydian say? Good gods, you will mention nothing of this. Swear to me. Well, that was bracing. I believe the lingering smells of the road have been successfully expunged. Shall we go and present ourselves to our new patrons, then? Before I do that, I want to go and... Okay, so I go around the outside in order to attune to those other 2 Aethernet shards. Ooh, that sucks. Glory Gates. You're looking to present yourself to the Chais, are you? Let me explain how the city's laid out, then. Imagine 3 layers, one on top of the other. The layer here is called the buttress. Above that, is the understory, where the military has its headquarters. And above that, you've got the canopy, which is where the free citizens of Ulmore spend their days. So if you want to find your new patrons, you'll need to keep climbing until you run out of stairs, then look for the Grand Dame's parlor. They'll be in there like as not. Yeah, but I am gonna stop off and collect other Aethernet shards. Might as well grab the mainstay while we're here. Although I don't know if I can get down there yet. Oh yeah, I can. I think. Can I jump off? I can. Now the question is, where is this Aethernet shard? Here it is. Ah, and here's where we get, nuts board? I was gonna say hunts, but nuts? The clan hunt board is covered in bills showing the details of wanted monsters. However, you are able to accept any of the bills posted at present. Why is it called the nuts board? So it's a hunt board. They just call it a nuts board? Yeah, okay. Bit of an odd choice, but, yeah, I guess. If what works, works. Oh, gotta have special permission to use it, huh? Well, fair enough. The Chais, I presume?
Oh, who's this then?
You're one fat cat. I mistook you for a female Hrothgar from the back.
I am given to understand you were in search of an artist.
Ah, you must be the new,
Oh, goodness me. What an adorable boy.
silken hair, those pearly cheeks, ooh, and you even smell wonderful, like a bed of flowers.
Okay, let's not be weird about this.
I approve of this one, dearest. I am positive he'll paint us the most delightful pictures.
Yes. Well, as long as he paints better than that talentless wretch we sent packing last week.
Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome to Yulmore.
Just ignore the rusty farming implement.
Alphino, if it please you, my lady. And this is my assistant.
Your assistant? I've heard of folk bringing in family members, but this seems a bit irregular. Aren't you a little young to have a protege?
He's just that good. What can I say?
We are family in all but name, my lord. Though we share no blood, we have stood by each other through life's many challenges, resolved to prevail together or not at all. Of all people, 'tis she who best understands my work. With her unique insight guiding my hand, the art I create is sure to satisfy your expectations. Once the picture is begun, of course, I shall have no need of constant encouragement. And so I wondered, rather than her being in your way, might it then be permissible for my assistant to out of gratitude for her priceless contribution to my art, I thought...
I don't know why I keep left
Did
clicking.
you ever hear of such devotion? Of course your assistant
I just find
must
this
have
entire
her wish.
situation very
She shall be
skeevy.
free
I don't
to
like
roam
this.
to her heart's content.
Great. Wonderful.
Isn't that right, darling?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course, dearest. Quite right.
My man, blink twice if you're in danger. If you need help, blink twice. Not you, Alphino. I didn't mean you. Now that you have the opportunity to experience Yulmore, I suggest you make the most of it. Explore the city top to bottom. In other words, I would start with the canopy and go from there. Try wandering on the market stalls, mayhap. Such places are usually filled with colorful characters, only too eager to share local gossip with a friendly visitor. I would appreciate it, of course, if you could share any discoveries with me in turn. We should both learn as much as possible about our new place of residence. Sure. I'm assuming I still don't get access to you yet. Yeah, that's what I figured. A fresh register, are we? You seem a little lost. Well, 'tis lovely to make your acquaintance. Speaking of acquaintances, you wouldn't have happened to run into my attendant on your wanderings, would you? Would you? Big strong lad? Long hair? Tied back? He was escorting me on a shopping errand when I realized I dropped my handkerchief. And now I've been waiting here all alone while he's off searching for it. I'm not terribly fond of being alone. If you do see him, I would be obliged if you could pass on this message. Forget the silly handkerchief and return to my side at once. Sure, I guess. Long hair, huh? Not exactly a ton to go on, but I can take a look. You good, man? How the hell did you end up in that kind of a situation, bud? Wicked White, that was too close. Thank you, friend. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come along. I was trying to rescue my lady's handkerchief, you see. The wind must have blown it over the edge, but luckily it caught on something. I thought if I could just stretch out far enough. You must think highly of your mistress. She is my entire world. Without her, I am nothing. When I first came to Yulmore, I thought only of improving my lot in life. But there was so much more to this city than wealth and plenty. There's no war here, no conflict. The residents all treat each other with warmth and respect. My mistress has ever been so kind to me, I can think of no other place in Colusia where I could possibly be happier. Sorry, I might have gotten a bit carried away. I find it hard to stop when I start counting my blessings these days. Please, you should come with me to meet my lady. Once she hears of your deed, you'll be witness to her generosity firsthand. What? Lonely, you say? Curse my clumsy feet, I must return to her immediately. Something tells me this reunion is not going to be as pleasant as he makes it out to be. My attendant told me everything. I'm so very grateful you were there to offer your assistance. Seem a dedicated patron. Oh, my attitude is not unusual, I assure you. Without the efforts of our bonded residents, we free citizens would not enjoy the pleasures of our daily lives. They are deserving of our unending gratitude. Mayhap in another society, our different standing would breed prejudice or resentment, but in Yulmore, most glorious measure is in place to avert such unpleasantness. Part of that measure requires that the free surrender their fortunes. Upon registration, all of our property, financial, intellectual, or otherwise, is given over to the city. In exchange, we are provided with ample funds and commodities to live a life of pampered luxury. Being liberated from the concern of earning coin has an almost miraculous effect on people's outlook. There are no rivals to compete against, only fellow residents with whom to enjoy our tranquil existence. Now, if you'll excuse us, I must see what the markets have to offer as reward for the return of my handkerchief. Oh, and I've not forgotten you, of course, our courageous messenger turned rescuer. All this task of relying on the bonded, and I haven't given a thought as to what your duties might be. I hope I haven't interrupted your work unduly. A tour of the city, is it? Then you really must visit the Beehive. It's always buzzing with activity. Local rumor. Anyway, a lady by the name of Tista B.A. usually has her seat near the entrance. She will gladly speak with you on any number of topics, assuming you find yourself on her good side. Okay. I still feel very off-put by this whole thing. Oh, this is certainly club. Welcome to the Beehive, my little drone. Seeking the sting of excitement to liven up your day? I can tell at a glance when folk are new to our happy colony. It's the nervous fluttering, you see. Always gives them away. Why don't we play some cards to set you at ease, huh? A quick game of high or low. It's simply a matter of guessing who has the bigger hand. If you win, I'll grant you a single favor. Within reason, of course. Interested? Ready for a game of high or low, then? Good for you. No time like the present, I say. No, he's not. He's actually clean. And so are we, which is even more surprising. 3 cards for you, 3 cards for me. You flip one of yours over, and I flip 2 of mine. Oh, we're actually straight up playing cards. If I were to guess, I would assume high, given that the maximum you can pull right now is 10, unless 11 includes aces. So if it's 10, the most you can get is 13. I've pulled a 4 with 2 extra cards. I'd say high. Highs are better odds. I have 9, so I can only lose to a 1. Ha! There we go. Congratulations. Your guess was right. Usually I'd concede this defeat at this point, but what say do you say to a rematch? One more win and we'll talk about that favor. Alright. Fine, we'll do it again this time. 3 cards for you, 3 cards for me, yep. Even with 5 and 2 extra cards to draw, she's currently got 8. She's currently got 12. Mine's probably lower. 15. 14. Hey, we win this again. We're good at this game. Granted, it is really just kind of math and guessing. Well, do you look at that? I think you've got a knack for this, newcomer. Congratulations. Victory is yours, as is the prize I promised. I mean, there's a good chance that that's scripted and we're bound to win regardless, but it's still funny. Yeah, I still will take it. Come whisper in my ear then, and don't be shy. Tell old Tista what she can do for you. That's all? How delightfully wholesome. But if knowledge is what you want, then that is what you shall have. In my humble estimation, the most wondrous thing about this town is how safe we are from sin-eaters. They say Lord Vothry was born with the power to command them, which means no Yulmoran need ever raise a weapon in defense of the city. Was that the kind of thing you wish to know? If your ish still needs scratching, you might get a few words out of Thorin over there. There's not that Mary Sot likes more than the sound of his own voice. What's that? Uda Yulmore, you say? I only just arrived and already looking to peel away the layers of mystery. Oh, I'm all for chatting, but you need to slow down and enjoy life, my friend. I'll tell you what. You hop on stage. Yeah, I won't be doing that. I guess I will be doing that. Alright, fine. As much as this disappoints me. It's up. I'm not happy about this, but I suppose if it gets us information, then I guess it's worth it. Where is it? I know I could just type it in, but there it is. Now that was a show. You're welcome to clamber up on stage anytime you like. So, what is it you wanted to ask me? Ah, yes, something about our fair city. Well, I can tell you it wasn't always so peaceful as it was today. The Yulmoran army may be the very essence of military might, but even our forces saw grievous losses in the war against the Sin-Eaters. Things changed for us, about around 20 years ago now, when the old ruler's son came to power. He's got this way with the Eaters, you see, turns them docile as house cats. Wouldn't be exaggerating to say they've become something of an ally to Ulmor, no longer an enemy to be feared. And yet elsewhere there are still fools who insist on fighting that are losing battles. A toast to Lord Vothry. Yeah, we should probably get back before they start questioning where I am. Where's Elfino? Have you returned from your jaunt around the city so soon? You needn't have hurried back. Young Alphino has yet to put brush to canvas. One cannot rush good art, I'm told, or good artists, apparently. Ah, finally. Wait, Alvaro. Ah, new digs, I see. I've put together an ensemble out of the garments you chose. Is this satisfactory? Oh, good gracious me! That last outfit was precious, but this makes you look positively dashing. You truly are a handsome boy. However am I to decide? I don't recall this part of the artistic process. Exactly. The lad is an artist, dearest, not a dress-up doll. It's about time we set him to work for the reason we called him here. Must we? I do love a good painting, but I thought since we were enjoying ourselves so thoroughly... Well, not... That is to say, as long as you... Just make sure you give the lad time to prepare. We know who'll be upset if he's not ready to paint at a moment's notice. Whatever you say, darling. So, shall we pick out some jewelry next? Alright. Alphino. Lady Chai has a very particular sense of beauty, and apparently that extends to how I should dress whilst painting. But this obsession of her works in our favor. The time I spend indulging these distractions is time you can use to continue your explorations. For this excursion, I'd like you to delve into the lair below us and sniff out the military headquarters. I'm sure the understory has its own tale to tell. Sure, that sounds fun. Gallivanting with the more military types is probably more my style anyway. Alright, who am I meant to speak with? You good? You're one of the bonded, aren't you? Like me? Please, I need your help. My throat, I can't sing anymore. I've been making excuses, but it's just not getting any better. If my patron thinks I'm no use to him, then... I need you to sneak out to the derelicts and describe my condition to Thoric. Here's a list of symptoms and a hunk of meal to pay for his medicines. Please, I've no one else to turn to. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure, why not? Probably finish up this quest and head to bed for the evening. As I said, unfortunately, I don't have a ton of time tonight, even though I did get on early. Gotta be up very early tomorrow. You need medicines? Tonics? Potions? A cure for an ailing voice, is it? No medicine will cure this. Methinks your songbird has a lump in her throat. Must be cut out, excised, and even then the voice may never heal completely. Poor little songbird. Will they kick her from the nest, I wonder? Or simply silence her chirps? Your face! You didn't know! Of the many hopefuls who enter the city, very few are ever seen to leave, even as corpses. You might see one or two fortunate fools hurled from the balconies, but the rest, Gone. Town of nightmares it is. Not for this ship's rat, oh no no. I'm content to scurry around down here and nibble on the crumbs which fall from the table. This consultation is over. You have my verdict, and I have my mule. Good day. Oh, this is not great. Well, sorry to bring the bad news, lady, but you are not in for probably that much. Did you get my medicine? So that's it. What am I to do if I can't sing? Ah, there you are, my sweet canary. Have you been crying again? Don't tell me your voice is still not on the mend. Oh, generous sir, have mercy. I've done all I can, but even the apothecary said... So you've been suffering all this time? I am sorry, my pet. Hadn't realized your affliction was this grave. But you needn't fret. I'll not reward your hours of trilling by casting you out into the street. You are too kind, sir. But what use am I if I cannot sing? I fear the day I've become more burden to you than treasure. Then I shall have a word with Lord Vothry and arrange for your ascension. In that paradise where resides neither pain nor illness will your song ring out clearly once again. Or mayhap you think it a step too far. No, you would do that for me? Of course. Why, I would almost wish to hasten my own ascension, knowing your blessed instrument was waiting there to greet me. I don't like the implication here. You must be a new arrival. Allow me to explain. As all know, the Sin Eaters exist to devour the sinful, but also do they serve to gather the souls of the innocent and shepherd them unto celestial Oh yeah, that's... It is through Lord Vothry that we learn this truth. It is through Lord Vothry's grace that the free people of Ulmor are destined to embrace salvation. We are blessed to spend our days surrounded by love and merriment, until at last we are called to our final rapture. Even the bonded may find a peace within that host, should their patrons deem them worthy. Lord Vothry truly is a great man, isn't he? Now, if you will excuse us, we must be on our way. May you find eternal salvation for the compassion you have shown my precious canary. Yeah, I mean, the fact that I went to Alice first makes this all the worse, because we know what happens to we know what happens to people who get taken by the Sin Eaters. Alright, it's up, and I don't have any shards up there yet. "'Tis good to see you back. You were taking so long that I began to worry something had happened. I've begun sketching an outline for the portrait, but nay, the chies appear otherwise occupied. Will you share what your investigations have gleaned thus far?" "So Lord Vothry boasts some manner of influence over the Sin Eaters, does he? That would explain the reverence in which he is held by the citizenry. And as for this ascension business, I cannot help but be put in mind of that apothecary and his ominous remarks. If so many of the folk have entered the city over the years, then where did they go? Yeah, I think that's probably a good place to leave it for the night. I don't have a ton of time left, and I'm sure that we'll be seeing more and more cutscenes. So, as much as it pains me to end it only less than 2 hours in, I'll probably be around for a full stream next week. I already have my schedule and everything, so we should be good for a full stream next week. But regardless, thanks everybody so much for watching if you still are. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully, with Rhino Remake, assuming that I don't get screwed over at work like I always do on Thursdays. It always seems to be Thursdays that I get screwed. But regardless, if you enjoyed and want to catch more streams, the easiest way to do so is to hit the buttons on your respective platforms. Whether it be the follow, the subscribe, and the bell, or the like, the subscribe, and the bell on YouTube, follow on Twitch, join the Discord for notifications for when I or our Pathfinder crew goes live. But regardless, I hope everybody enjoyed and have a good night. Bye-bye.